What's up guys, YvensB here. I just want to take a minute to actually apologize for the quality of the sound you're about to hear. I tested the video before going into the conversation with Brian, but then I realized that my sound was crackly and stuff, so I really apologize, it sounds terrible. But you'll find a winner of assignment number 10 in the video, so I hope you guys enjoy this one. It's a little conversation again with Brian, the owner of Flash Gels, announcing his pick and the reason why he actually picked the winner of assignment 10. Hi guys, welcome to Master Light, the assignment group. Today we have a special guest reviewing the assignment that we posted for assignment number 10, so as we said, we were doing flash gels, so basically we were gelling everything, so we saw a lot of bright colors in the group when we were there. So because of that, and because it was sponsored by my friend's company, Flash Gel, we're actually going to review the images with him, and he's going to be selecting the winner of the contest that we had. So if you have any hate to send it to him, not to me. I haven't done anything about it. I'm joking, there shouldn't be hate. So what we'll do is that Brian and I is going to have a small discussion about his company and then who he is as a photographer, and then we'll review the images, and actually he's going to select the winner. So Brian, tell me more about yourself.
All right, so yeah, my name is Brian Troll. I am a photographer. That's how I got into learning about lighting and becoming interested in gels for color correction and for creative purpose. I'm based in South Florida right now. Okay. And when I got my 8600, my Flashpoint Explorer, something I had been used to having the option to do was to be able to gel my lights, if nothing else, for color correction purposes. And that was a challenge with them because of their interesting bulb shape. So I'm a do-it-yourselfer and a tinkerer, and I went ahead and tried to find a solution on how to be able to gel the bulbs, and it ended up working out pretty well, and some other people were interested in it. So I made some more of them, and it just kind of developed from there, where now I offer color correction kits as well as creative color gel kits for the AD600 as well as the AD200 and AD360.
Cool, awesome. And what kind of photography do you do? Are you a portrait? Are you...
Yeah, it's a mix of event photography and portraiture. I'd like to do more portrait work because it's something I don't have as much experience with, and I appreciate the challenge of it. Yeah. And I also photograph dogs and animals. I volunteer at the local humane society, photographing their animals to just take some nicer pictures to help them get adopted. And I'm always looking for the next opportunity to photograph, to do a pet photo session, whether it's just the animal or a family, including the animal. Those are always fun. Yeah, I think if you take a glance at your website, there's a lot of your own dog on there, right? Correct? There's a big white dog. What breed he is? Or? Yeah. So one of the stars of my photo, of my photography, is my own dog. His name is Burton. He's sitting over here. He's pretty quiet right now. He is a golden doodle. Okay. He's a golden doodle. He's about 65 or 70 pounds. Wow. He's 5. He's awesome. And sometimes he gets pulled into my photo shoots. If we're going to the beach just to hang out, I'll bring my camera, or maybe it's something planned that I have an idea I want to execute, and he's the dog that's available. And basically, they can't say no, so it's perfect. They have it depends on the dog, but I find dogs are usually just about as easy to work with and take direction just about as well as your average human subject. Yeah. Or maybe even child, if we... Cool, awesome. Good. So, about Flash Gel, so basically you started this one back then? Like how long ago? Like in 2000? Yeah, it started just a little over a year ago. Okay. And it started just with 8600 and just with color correction gels. So I started with with CTO gels to correct for tungsten light. And then I also added CTB, which are the blue tinted gels, and then green to correct for fluorescent.
Yeah.
So it gives you the option to match indoor ambient lighting for, you know, tungsten or fluorescent. And it also gives you some of the blue shades to correct for shadows outdoors, or also there's a couple kind of cool creative techniques you can use with the blue gels to give a nice golden hour look to your photos, even if it's not golden hour.
Yeah, so I think Rob did a video on it, right? So you gel it and you reverse it, I think.
Exactly. Yeah. So yeah, Rob Hall did a great video on that. It was really popular, and he's somebody I've worked with for a while on the gel situation as well. So he's been a big help in testing them and using them and getting the word out.
Awesome. Cool. So what we're going to do is I'm going to share my screen with you so you can actually, because I just noticed that you were looking not at my face but at a screen, which is not interesting. So I'll be sharing my screen, and then we'll be reviewing the photos that were submitted by the members of Master Light for the assignment. Cool. Okay, so give me a second. There we go. So right now you should see my screen and my little mouse clicker.
I see the Facebook group is up.
Yep, exactly. That's perfect.
Okay, cool.
Awesome. Okay, so let's scroll down to the photos. We're gonna go explore a bit because right now. Okay, so I think it starts from here.
Cool.
Awesome. So that's the first image by Ray. Sorry, I'm gonna massacre your name, Ray. Stotzel. I think it's a German name. I'm not too sure. So let's read the description. A day late, but in the spirit of 3-light setup, the Explorer 600 actually, with a blue gel background. The Strobe Pro X200, which I don't know what it is. That brand. Is that a European version of the 8200?
I am not sure, to be honest. I'm not sure what the Strobe Pro is.
Okay. Well, basically, the gel is entire setup. So the Strobe Pro 200 with a barn door and a yellow gel to camera right, red gel in the camera left, and then shot with a Sony and a Sigma Art. Yeah. So that's the second time it was using gels and using a very dramatic. I'm gonna move my mouse. Using a very dramatic portrait also with a very character-ish person. And what do you think about this one?
It's cool. It's dramatic. I guess the textured background makes it look a little less studio-ish to me. It almost looks like he's, I don't know, in like a creepy forest.
Yeah,
so
or something.
It's dramatic. I like it, and I didn't notice the red immediately until I kind of went back and looked at it. But
until it was mentioned,
I think the colors really complement each other. It's a strong image. I like it.
Yeah, and also I like the fact that you actually use all 3 color gamuts. I mean, the only thing missing is basically green, but yellow can make up for it. So it's interesting to see all 3 colors at once.
Yeah.
Awesome. Cool. And then we'll do the next. So this one, I think it's a series by Ernesto. So there's 3 of them. There's 2 of them actually. Sorry. Yeah, so there's 2 of them. So that's there's no description for this one in the description of the photo, which doesn't really matter. Let's look at the image anyways. So it looks like it seems to me it's a reversed blue. So the blues are shifted to teal, and then there's a red reflection somewhere. There's a red gel somewhere. Let's go look at the Facebook post. Give me a second.
Okay, cool. Yeah, it's interesting. I'm trying to reverse engineer it. I'm not sure exactly.
I'm not sure how I was looking. It looks to me like remember like Jake Hicks?
Yeah.
It looks to me like his portraiture, the reverse colors and. Give me one moment. Let me see the description. Okay, so it's a 3 light setup. It says Ernesto says it's an experimental light with the Strobe Pro X600. Yeah, well, I'm thinking it's the Strobe Pro is the, let's see, maybe European version of the 8200, potentially.
It must be.
Yeah, it must be.
Real quick, I can sneak it in. I don't want to
no worries.
take away from.
Yeah. So basically, its strobe was pointed at the background with a purple gel, and then 18200 at the bottom with an orange gel, and a flash on top with a light blue gel. Using the Sony A7R II and the YvensB composer. Oh, that's why there's like a bit of tilt shift going on in the actual image.
Noticed that. Where does it say the orange is coming in from?
The 8200 comes. The orange comes from the bottom. And and there's a flash on top with a light blue gel. So basically, it's like a clamshell setup. Okay,
cool. Yeah, it's always interesting how when two colors cross, that the way they can complement or cancel each other out, or that kind of thing. So I think that's the orange. The way the orange lays is really interesting. I mean, it kind of looks like eyeshadow.
Yeah, almost. Yeah, it looked like purposely done, like very controlled, which is impressive. Because it's a level of light control. Well, you see bleeding over the cheeks and maybe around the mouth, but it's a level of light control that I really appreciate in this case, and it blends in with the makeup on top of it, so it's cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yep. And then the next image by Ernesto in the same with the same subject. I actually like this one a lot. With the high key background, I think. So, read the description here. The yellow shot was a 2-light setup. I used one flash on the front, with a light blue gel on the 31 by 31 softbox, and at the back, a 8200 with a yellow gel in a 38-inch softbox, both light red 1/4, using again the A7R II and the G Master 85.
Cool. Yeah. Again, it's one of my strengths is not, I think, in the studio, so I can really appreciate, and I'm assuming this was in the studio, I don't know, but it doesn't look like it was in a studio, right? It looks like, it's very stylized with the wardrobe, and, maybe it looks like a sunset behind her, so I think
almost a nuclear sunset, almost.
Yeah, so it's definitely effectively done.
Yeah, very well. The Ernesto is actually pretty good, and if you look at his Instagram, he's actually a very solid photographer. So I'm really happy he's joining in the assignments.
Awesome, yeah.
Cool. So let's continue with the next image. Sorry if you hear this. This is my washer is going crazy. So this one by Paul TIRADO. So. Yeah, so this one is actually using LED lights. So using one Young Newell 360s.
Okay.
I'm trying to make sense of whatever he's saying. One that was called using a crop. So he used a Young Newell 360s on each side, and then there's a ring, LED ring, for a little fill in front. That's cool. It's actually straight out of the camera, so it's pretty interesting.
Yeah. So that's cool to know. So is he saying that is he just introducing one color here, or is it two?
It's two, I think.
Okay, I mean, it looks like two. I was just trying to figure out the description.
Yeah, I mean, two.
That's my dog.
That's fine.
Relax. So no, I mean, I like this image I saw when you were scrolling through it before. I think reds and magentas are always dramatic. Hey, come here. Relax. All right. So I saw this image when you were scrolling before, just briefly, and it stood out. I think the reds and magentas are always dramatic, and they look they stand out.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
And of course, it has it's got the secondary, the green kind of, that's almost like a shadow, but not.
Yeah, almost like I kind of wish it was a bit less green. So so it was a bit of a hint instead of a main color. But I like the fact that it's only cutting part of her face and not being it doesn't bleed that much into the magenta or magenta color.
Right. Yeah, I mean that's the other thing I noticed here is it almost slices right through the middle, and it doesn't bleed too much. I mean, it catches her nose a little bit, but otherwise, there's kind of like a line through her where it's one color or the other. So
yeah, and also giving the fact that it's a straight out of camera shot, it's also really interesting to look at. I actually wanted to see the actual fully edited one, maybe one day, but again, for straight out of camera, it's actually pretty solid. So it's really nice. Cool. And then we'll move on to the next. Oh, so that's my shot. It's not using colors. So 710. So this is from CHRISTOPHERRAY Robertson. 710. Queen Lan Vos from Star Wars. Good fact for me. I don't like Star Wars that much. I'm more of a Star Trek guy, so hate me now. Internet. Actually, you're mentioned here. So main light is an 8600 in a cheetah rice bowl from Cheetah Stand. No gel, and then there's a rim light, 8600 in strip banks with 40-degree grids and yellow gels. So thanks to Flash Gel for the excellent gels, work great with the 8600. So I just have an example of your work being displayed there. Awesome. So your feedback on this image?
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna admit that I don't know this character. I mean, I'm a casual Star Wars watcher where I haven't seen them all. I just kind of catch them as I catch them. So, but again, I think not one of my strengths to stylize and execute on what's the word? I don't know, just to stylize a shoot, to have an idea in mind, whether it's clothing or a theme, and carry out on it. And I mean, that's something that this has a unique look to it. Between the pose and, of course, I'm going to assume that futuristic weapon there is not real. So there was some thought that went into this, and I can appreciate that for sure.
Yeah, and especially I found difficulty of balancing. I'm not sure if it's not a real lightsaber. I'm not sure of the quality of it because I know there's like a lot of weak versions. So balancing the strobe lights, and so this is like I think there are two strips because he said strip banks. So I'm guessing there's more than one. And balancing the ambient with the actual light is actually pretty difficult unless this post processing is done super well. So.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it looks like he might kind of have, and maybe I'm wrong, but, a light on the background and then some rim lighting from either side. So it's cool. It's pretty cool. I'm curious who this guy is now. I gotta.
Yeah, me too. I wanted to Google it back then, like I kind of forgot, so it slipped to my to-do list. But yeah, pretty cool character and pretty good capture too. So I actually like it.
Not your standard portrait.
No, at all.
It has more energy.
Yeah, exactly. So that's a very good capture. Cool. Let's move on to the next. So from Amos Nakurami. So he's my entry for gels. I was going for something more settled and muted, almost like a pastel-like. Lighting info, so using the Evolve 200 camera left, above and tilted down at 45 degrees in a beauty dish and gelled orange. And another Evolve 200 camera right, gelled blue in a 21 silver soft umbrella. I personally love this shot. It is actually pretty fantastic. If you wanted to execute on pastel, it is extremely well done, and it's a self-portrait. So it matches assignment number 3. I just love everything about this personally.
Yeah, this is cool, and it's really interesting, coming after the previous shot, because there's an obvious variety in the styles and the execution.
Yeah.
So it's cool. It looks kind of vintage in a nice way, and he didn't force the color in there. But it really complements the subject.
Yeah,
I guess there's.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, photographing with glasses is always tough. I see that reflection is standing out to me a little bit, but that's me working to find something about it, because otherwise it's nice. It's I like the subtlety of it. It really works.
Yeah, especially on darker skin. Sometimes gel lighting is actually pretty interesting if you have someone that is actually tan or has a very deep black color. So I personally, it's one of my favorites from this assignment, and I appreciate the assignment, the posting. I think it's really cool, and I can't wait to see what else he posts actually. But it's in my top 3 right now, personally.
Yeah, I mean, I see this and I kind of expect to be able to identify more photos from this photographer without seeing their name.
Yeah.
You know, it has a style to it, so that's very cool.
Yeah, awesome. Same thing. Perfect. So let's move on to the next. So, assignment 10, gel portraits by Eduardo Rojas. I'm sorry if I mastered your name. I'm Canadian. Sorry. So self-portrait with T5i kit lens and white wall background. Actually, interesting. The key light is a speed light in a 31 octavox, 3 feet away in manual mode. Separation light is another speed light with a blue gel and a grid. Speed light, okay. So I'm guessing it's a snoot. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So what do you think about this one?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, it looks like it's out of a movie. I feel like I'm looking at the Terminator here. So so it's got that attitude for sure. You know, it's definitely a subtle use of colored gels, but I think still it gives it. It's a good subtle play because it looks. I mean, it really looks like I'm looking at this guy down an alley or something, and there's a neon light being casted on the side of him and just barely lighting him up.
Yeah.
So it's a different approach. It's really cool to see the different ways people are implementing color, and it doesn't always have to be strong.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I definitely agree because I think the thing with gel, it's used a lot in cinema to highlight certain thing about the character and the subject that is actually being written, and the fact that he uses it very subtly just to create a small rim on the left side, just that little edge that just separates him from the background is actually pretty cool. And it also falls into, I think, the assignment, which is very low key. So it's not a very bright and very poppy photo like the Jedi likes it. It's a very muted and it's a very calm yet dangerous photo with using the super cinematic crop on top of it. So I like it.
Yeah, it's good. It's good light control, especially since he mentioned he was on a white backdrop. That just is that.
Yeah, quite well.
White background. So I mean, whether it's on white or not, but that just shows that he's definitely carefully placing the light in the image.
Yeah, and especially to self-portraits, so it's even harder. Let's not forget that.
Oh, cool. Yep, I missed that part. That's awesome.
Awesome. Let's move forward.
I tried taking self-portraits, and it is easier said than done. Yeah,
but I think a self-portrait to me is the. I'll just go back to my screen. I think self-portrait is actually the way to practice a portraiture without bothering anyone. If you don't have a dog that is willing to sit down and look at you for 20 minutes, I think it's it is a pain to set up. But once you're there, you can actually test your light and then do small modifications. You just have to really pre-focus and then try some new things, and you get the test without having to spend money or use a model or bother someone actually. So.
Yeah, no, it was a good exercise. I mean, I was definitely alone in my house, getting down and feeling like I think you just have to get over the fact that you feel a little weird, running back and forth and posing as well as and making all your little fine adjustments to your life. But it's a great exercise to work through things, and for me, it's good because I guess when I'm experimenting with something, unless it's a good friend of mine, I feel like I'm moving too slow and people are waiting for me. Yeah. But nobody's waiting for me there. It's just me.
Yeah, I think those things stress whenever I have something in front of me. I just want to get it done as quickly as possible instead of saying, you know what, I just want to get a good setup. I just want to get a good light, and then you'll wait because either you pay for this or I get paid for this. So I get paid to be technical about it, so I can take an extra 5 to 10 minutes just to get my lighting set up right, and then start shooting. But one thing I learned from one of my friends before he has an assignment, he actually pre-lights it with himself. So that's a good idea also to save the stress, so because the goal is always to get one shot that is extra solid, and the rest will kind of flow within that frame. So that's what he does. So he pre-lights with himself, using himself as a test, and then starts to shoot. So it avoids that stress. Cool. So let's reopen the screen. Give me 1 second. Oh, this is not it. Okay, can you see again the photo?
Yes. Yep.
Awesome. Okay. So this is Sunday Funday, where you can share your shots, and then you have a shot by actually often commentator from YouTube, Mahir Ali Hamed. So using D10, the 7200, and so behind the subject, there's an 8360, and we're using a blue gel left of the camera, and the 8360 and a red gel right to the camera, and another 360 with the Godox S7 with grid. I don't know what this S7 thing is.
Do you think that's just the 7-inch reflector? I'm not sure. I don't know.
I'm not super familiar with the modifiers from Godox because I don't like them that much. But give me a second. It's a softbox from my Google. It's a small softbox. Look at almost a beauty dish. Looks a lot like the Chilistan rice bowl thing.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Okay. So, your opinion about this?
I mean, it looks like a skilled photographer took the photo. I mean, technically, it's sharp. It's clear. It's interesting. I'm trying to figure out the blue light. I get that makes sense to me. The red light, I guess, maybe was directly to the camera right of the subject. You think? I'm just trying to figure out the bleed there.
Because you can see lines on the right side that are kind of. I wish you could crop it just a little bit so we don't have this effect of there's little stripes on the right. I'm not sure if you can see clearly.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. But overall, it's a really nice image with the accents of blue and red, which is awesome.
Yeah, it's the kind of thing that I think there's something I'm seeing more in photos these days is people are through Photoshop and I don't know what they use, like presets. They're adding flare and adding I don't know, color and raindrops and snowfall. But this is something that the photographer achieved naturally. So it's cool. I was just trying to figure out how the red is, how it's kind of having that bleed kind of in front of the model as well.
Yeah. I guess when it's pretty direct, I had this issue with a shoot once. It's pretty in front of the camera and your lens is not covered, but let's say what's it called? Those covers are the I'm having name cancer.
Like a V flat kind of thing.
Not a V flat. You can put a hood, lens hood on top of your lens. So let's go back to the conversation. So you put the lens hood, and then it protects the flares coming in. I'm guessing if you don't use when it's using Tamron 7200, you should have a hood. But maybe when it's too direct in front of the camera, that's why it creates, right? So you can see it's. I'll read the photo. Give me 1 second.
Yeah, I mean, I like it. I think it makes it a little more unique than if it was just red and a blue. It's more unique than that to stand out that way. So I like it. I was just trying to figure out, how it might have happened. So.
Overall, super solid image. Also good. It's good post processing, and the red and blue is highlighting the hair, so it's always interesting to see. Okay, so let's move on to the next. These are not gel portraits. Okay, so this is the announcement. So I think that's it. So let's do a quick review of what we have in total. Give me 1 second.
Cool.
Is there anyone particular you want to see again, or?
I've been kind of keeping in mind what stands out to me. So I feel like there's like 2 or 3 that I feel are just unique. You know, a unique attempt. So.
Okay. So just, let's say just give me your top 3 basically.
Well, I mean, first of all, it's something I was thinking as we were looking through these is it's really cool to see everybody doing this, and I'm guilty of not participating in these. I've watched the assignments, but thumbs up to everybody who's actually getting out there and shooting.
Yeah.
It's a cool group. It gives you an excuse to it gives you encouragement to try something either that you've never done before or that you want to revisit. So really cool group, and totally give it up to the guys that are.
Sorry, I'm losing you a bit.
Girls that are out there. Can you hear me all right?
Give me a second. I'm chopping a bit.
Okay.
Yeah, I can. No, I got you back.
Okay, you can hear me?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Did you hear what I said there?
No.
Okay. So I was just saying that as we were looking through the photos, I was thinking. I mean, first of all, it's really cool to see everyone's different take on the same challenge. But it's awesome that people are getting out there and doing these challenges and maybe trying something for the first time or revisiting something they've done before and trying it a different way.
Yeah.
So thumbs up to everybody who is participating. You are one step ahead of me, but I'll have to make a point to try to submit some photos for a future assignment because I'm watching from the sidelines right now. But anyway, it's really cool to see.
Yeah, and also that's a really goal of the group is to let's close this for a second. That's a goal of the group is to actually shoot as much as we can. So I think I'm actually a firm believer in the book that was written. It's called Fail Forward and Fail Fast. So basically, you try, you eliminate, you try things, you like it. If you like something, you just put it in your good box. If you don't like something, you put it in your nasty box. Or at least, as a working photographer, you want to have as many tools as you can, to get the job done. And you never know what kind of curveball you're going to be thrown. So let's say, using your gel as an example. If you don't understand that using a blue gel in the shadows, or maybe at a certain color temperature in the morning, will actually change the way you have to light to match your subject temperature to the environment, and then you're going to be in trouble. So it's kind of things that whenever you're thinking about it, then it really changes your perspective on like, okay, I really need this tool to be a working photographer or else I'm not going to make it, or I'm going to have trouble with my clients afterwards, or I'm going to spend hours retouching something that should take me 15 minutes, and now it's taking me an hour and a half to get the same job done. So.
Yeah, yep. In a world of endless information, it's easy to read about it online endlessly and not actually get out and do it. So I totally support what you have going on here. Getting people to get out and shoot. Which, it's easy to get stuck into the gear and into the, seeing what other people are doing. But the best way to learn is to get out and do it yourself, and maybe do it poorly, maybe do it well. It doesn't really matter.
No, exactly. Just
learn something every time you get out and shoot. So.
Another motivational quote. It's the one who tried, the one who stepped in the arena is 10 times the man that the one who didn't step in the arena to try something. So if you don't try, there's no. I don't think those lessons can be implemented in your brain, so you can't use them afterwards. So technically, you'll be able to, but in practice, you'll be so nervous and so stressed. You're kind of breathing down your neck and saying, "I want this shot, I want this, I want that." Just for a wedding, you've done weddings, right? So it is the most stressful environment you can be in, and if you're not on the go all the time, then you're done. So that's why these assignments, so you can have a range of tools to work. But let's go back to the pictures and select a winner. So be conscious of your time. Anything in there you want to re-see, or you're good? You know what you have in mind?
Well, can you pull just the thumbnails back up?
Yeah, of course. There you go.
So, all right. Okay, yep, I see them all here. All right. So, I mean, I feel like it's interesting. The let's say the three images that stood out to me as being unique and just really memorable. And I think there are a lot of strong images here and some concepts that I really like. But I would say if I had to put them in order, I would go with that last image of the girl with the red and the blue. I think it's a cool play on color, and I like the way that it bleeds over. It kind of feels like it incorporates something that I'm seeing in other photos, but it's done in a nice way.
Yeah.
So that's one photo that stood out to me. The next photo that stood out to me is that kind of retro high school portrait with kind of the pastel looking colors. I think that was really well done, and it's just cool. It's unique. And then the third photo that stood out to me was the very first photo. It just brings the drama. So I think that was really cool as well. To pick one is it's difficult.
Yeah.
So this was my first instinct, and I'll stick with it. I think the photo that you have up on the screen now
is a winner.
And it's a tough call. It is. I'm not just saying that. But this photo, I just like the drama of it, and I think that he used the backdrop effectively, but brought the subject out. It's got attitude. It's got drama. So I will pick that one as the winner. The other ones I had also talked about could very well have been chosen also. And I think there are a lot of great images.
Yeah, definitely. And then especially, I'm not sure if you watched The Walking Dead.
Yes, I do.
He reminds me of Maggie's father.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the zombie version of him.
Yeah. Not a zombie. Spoilers. But
not suggesting anything.
Yeah, exactly. But no. He. I mean, I think it's also beyond the use of gels, which was the assignment here. It's having a very interesting subject also that really helps bring out. Like, he has a lot of character and giving. And you actually. Again, not saying this is the case. This is the actual case, but you can have a very bad photo, but if your subject is interesting, then everything just is magnified. So, like, he looks interesting. He looks like he has experience. He lived a very long life and a very interesting life. And the beard, the intensity of the eyes, and then adding that to the gel, and then all the colors there. I think it's a great song there.
I totally the look, but also something that's interesting that I don't think a lot of people do, but is cool in this photo is he's kind of leaning into the photo on an angle. Maybe he's leaning in a little bit. It's just something that just makes it a little bit different. The composition and the way the subject is posed, and of course that background light is framed around him to bring that out. So
yeah, there's a bit of a Dutch angle there, which it makes sense with the subject leaning a bit, and also overall a very good image. I'm kind of happy that you selected this because Ray is actually a very active participant in Master of the Light, which is a good thing.
Awesome, cool.
Awesome. Well, again, so what I'll do, guys, is I think there's still a discount code to get the flash gels. It's called Master, right? The discount code?
I think that's what we set it up as. I mean, I can go in and confirm what the code is and make sure it's still running for a few more days here.
Yeah. So what we'll do? Do you mind keeping it until the end of April?
Yeah, we can do that. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, so we'll do it until the end of April, so you can actually take benefit and get some percentage off the flash gels if you're using anything Godox, so the 360. the 200, and the 600, correct?
Yep, that's correct. And I actually am going to be releasing one for the 8600 Pro as well in the near future. It's a different shaped bulb, so it requires a different gel, but I have something that works there that I'm going to be releasing also. So I know some more people are coming up with those strobes now.
Yeah, and yeah, that's going to be cool, because I know the big advantage with your gels is that they cover the entire bulb, so they're not like a, let's say, CTO that you just place, you try to really strap onto your light. You actually place them directly on the bulb, and they're using a silicone-based rubber band, so it actually doesn't melt. And especially those lights are not super hot, but you don't want to mess with a light that costs you like 500, 600 bucks.
Right.
Modifier, so you want to have something that is solid and that is tested. And I've used it personally on shoots. I think Rob has used it a lot on his own shoots, and a lot of people actually, we had an example here of someone using it. So I can vouch for him, and they're really amazing stuff. And I just want to thanks again, Brian, for, I'm not sure if I'm losing you again, Brian. Oh.
I'm here, I can hear you.
Okay, perfect. So I'm not sure if I'm trying to stop screen sharing. Yeah. So I just want to thank Brian again for joining in this Google Hangout. We'll contact Ray and then announce him that he's a winner and go from there. And if you have anything, if you have any need for those gels, I'll be posting links in the YouTube comments and also in the Facebook group, so you can actually join. If you have any questions, again, share them in the group about flash gels. I know Brian is looking at them, so you can actually answer any questions. And that's pretty much it. So again, thanks guys for watching, and thanks to Brian for participating and then giving his review of these images. And I'll see you in the next assignment, which is assignment 11, which is currently on. So go check it out, and I'll see you later. Cheers. So that's it. I hope you guys enjoy this video, even though the sound is really terrible. I really apologize for that. I hope to see you in assignment 11. Again, I just want to remind you to watch the video, the announcement that I made. I'll link it right now somewhere, so you can actually watch it. And if you have any questions, again, fire them in the YouTube comments. And cheers and good luck.